All right, we're going live. All right, we're live. We should be live, I think. Hopefully, people hear us.
Oh boy.
Hello, hello. So we made it to episode 4. Um, was it Dean?
Truly a
Yeah,
feat.
I know. Had to stop playing other games to show up on time, and by on time I mean 30 minutes later or so. But it's fine. We're here. It works.
Did you or
Everything
did
works out.
I? Is
I
that what
was
you...
like 30 minutes late,
Okay.
I guess,
I was
because
gonna say.
I was like I didn't get a ping, and I was just like playing games, and I was like, oh, when I got the ping, I was like, oh shit, I totally forgot. Um, but we're here. We're joined with obviously Dean, and then Hanson is with us for now.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Hello.
then Carmen should be joining us a little later. But yeah. So we're kind of like figuring this out live. So obviously there was some controversy stuff happened, I guess, over this weekend, which I woke up to and was like, oh, okay.
It just
But
keeps happening.
it just keeps happening. But I guess we'll wait for Carmen to show up because he's supposed to be here. He said in like 20 minutes.
It's the plague of online, dude.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, listen. I was like planning to do another online event, stuff because I was asked to, and I was like, yeah, I'm down to do it again and stuff because I'll probably not play it or whatever. But it was fun like organizing it. But like literally, like was it like what even 1 week ago, we had like Vanguard cheaters, and now once again we have Weiss people cheating again.
It's just the problem of online, dude. It's why I personally don't like online. It's just something that's gonna... I don't want to say it's always gonna happen because right, some people, they want to say, oh man, but it does. It does.
Yeah, I want to say like the majority of people are like good and they're not going to cheat randomly and stuff like that. Like especially after the whole Vince fiasco with the bro cheating scandal. I figured
Right.
at that point no one's stupid enough at like to do this so soon again, right? And especially like when it's on camera where people can go back and be like, "Wait a minute, let me rewatch this." And they're rewatching the match and see you actually cheat. That's like, I guess that takes balls in some ways because like I always see like the like magic cheaters on YouTube and stuff. That stuff is like wild, like people cheating on camera. But at least theirs is a little bit more subtle. Like it's shuffle cheating usually, where like they put a card on top of the deck and never shuffle it, so they draw dead, right?
Yeah.
But this was like this is last few times there's some crazy blatant cheating.
Well,
Yeah.
it was but this time was a kind of like private call, right? So it was like in Discord, because I mean that's all these games are. They're on Discord, right? And it's like, hey, can I record the game just in case judge calls? And then
Yeah. Honestly, if you're playing online and your tournament has any like significant actual prizing or something like that, I think you should have it required that both players record the feed the entire time because it's pretty easy to like do that. Generally, unless you're on a really really crappy computer or laptop, I guess. Well, I guess it's kind of unfortunate if you're unable to like record or something, then you can't really play on these like these online tournaments. But I mean, it's happened so frequently now that I just feel like it's like you can't run an event without having people recording all the matches. So
definitely.
if there's ever a judge call on anything, we can just go back and look at the video really quick. I'm sure it'll take like, well, actually, probably not. It wouldn't take extra time. It'd only take extra time if there's like accusations of like crazy cheating or something like that. Then we'd be able to like pull the footage, I think. But but yeah, hold on a second. My cat is attacking me. Get out of here. All right, cat aggro taken care of. But yeah, like at this point, it just seems like you're gonna need to uh record everything all the time. It's like the only way you can do anything without like you know making sure everything's good and stuff. Forgot to sign up for WGP this year, and I'm kind of glad. Yeah, I signed up, but I forgot it was this weekend.
More people. It was like barely even sleight of hand. It's like one of those things that would have. It looked like it was pretty obvious.
It was like, if you're paying attention, it was probably pretty obvious. I haven't seen the video itself, but
I feel like half the time I'm looking down at my board though when I'm playing.
honestly, usually I'm looking at another monitor and like scrolling through Twitter whenever I play people on Discord. I'm like, I do not care about this game because it's not in person and stuff, you know. And it's like there is some skill in like reading your opponent in certain situations and stuff like that. It's like very minute, very 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 minute. But like you can like kind of read situations sometimes. But when you can't like see your opponent or talk to your opponent really in person, I just like zone the hell out until they say it's my turn, and go from there.
Then you come back and you're like, okay, it's time.
Yeah. Yeah, can't. I saw. My opponent had to remind more than once to keep cards on hand, and they tried to say it's not a problem, bro. People know me. I'm playing like this all day, or on screen.
That's good. Yeah. I do think it's absurd that like how it's rough because right they have those online tournaments and then people have really bad setups. I myself have a bad camera setup. Actually, I don't for the online. I actually go to a different room and actually get a better camera setup. But
yeah, I mean, it just comes down to like there has to be a standard of camera setup. There has to be recording now. Like if you want like any online tournament to mean anything, you just have to like take that extra step. And if you're unable to play in the event because you just don't have a good enough camera or something, then fuck it. Like if you really care to do this, then you'll buy a new webcam or whatever. Like
if you can afford a deck, you can probably afford a camera.
Yeah, I mean the only downside is like if your computer can't handle recording like while you're doing that, but I think most computers nowadays have no issues unless you're like literally like running on caveman tech on a potato.
Yeah,
basically.
that doesn't sound real.
Yeah. It's just going forward, if I like end up hosting this event, I'm probably going to try to force like one of the parties has to have like everything recorded while you're in call or whatever with the people, because it's actually ridiculous, like the people that try to get away with this cheating stuff. I think one of the crazy parts too is where there was I didn't read the entire thread on Global about the cheating scandal, but were there people like trying to defend this guy or something, like when it was like caught on video in 4K? Like
yes.
Oh my god. Like I don't understand. Like maybe they're defending him like because they think he's a good person, but he could be a good person, but he could still be a cheater, Doesn't mean he's not, like, he didn't cheat. Like if he's cheating, it's kind of like really shitty to do in a competition, especially since it's like this is supposedly supposed to be like the Japanese WGP like qualifier and everything like that. This is supposed to be for the people who care most about JP. This is the most quote unquote prestigious tournament they can be in for the entire year, and to like take a dump on it like that is really shitty, man.
Like I think the situation like was more because like the guy cheated against like a match against like one of his locals, and like I think their like community wanted to like try and sell it like privately or something, but like someone will like just posted it like on Global. Like I think it was like more just like them saying they want to like take things privately, like rather than like blaming the guy on Global.
But the thing is like as soon as they're cheating like that, they need to be removed from the
community. The big thing about it too is like if they cheated at a locals and you're friends with this person, you can take him aside and be like, dude, you need to fucking stop cheating. We all know you're cheating. We saw you like move a climax or some shit, right? I think it's different when you start going to the quote unquote world stage, or I guess in this case like North America stage or whatever, and you start like hurting other people outside of your locals, because it doesn't matter about that one match. It affects all the matches and every person you've played against the entire day, because it changes their tiebreakers and everything. And if you like cheated against someone and took that win from them because you cheated, then like what the fuck, dude? Like
yeah, I think that like, well, even like locals, if you're coming up to locals like every week and like just blatantly cheating, I think you'd be like, okay, wait, what the hell's going on, right?
Yeah,
I would try to remove that person from my locals.
Yeah, it's definitely like one of those things where it's you definitely be like take them aside, be like, dude, what the fuck, you give them like that one chance, right, to be like, fucking clean up your act, otherwise you're gonna be gone, right? Um, but yeah, I don't know. Like, I think this is one of the things too. Like, nothing against those people in the locals or whatever, but if, from my understanding, I don't have like all the context exactly, but from what I heard through the grapevine is like everyone there kind of already knew this person was a cheater, but like if
That
they
was
want,
absurd.
yeah, if they wanted to handle this privately, they shouldn't have done it long time ago before this became like such an actual big deal, right? That's the part that like blows my mind. Like they let this guy cheat for so long, and then now like finally someone actually calls him out like on the bigger stage, and then like now they're like oh they really wanted, they're like no, we want to keep this local or whatever and not include everyone. But yeah, I guess it is what it is. I did hear though, once again, like I haven't been super up to date, but I heard that they're taking like this cheating scandal very, very seriously. So I'm wondering if they're gonna have another full ban for this player moving forward after this.
Ooh, that would be good.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if he's like full ban for WGP because this only happens like once a year.
That
Yeah.
is true. It's something the Western side of the game would need to recognize as well.
Yeah, it's one of those things though, because like this is technically an official Bushiroad event, so I'm wondering if this is this, because my understanding is if you get banned in an English event, you're banned from all Bushiroad held events, no matter where they are, even if they're in Japanese. You're just like on a blanket ban list until they take you off the ban list. That's how I always read it as. I don't know if that's exactly how it's like in how they actually do it. But if they do something, I hope it's just a ban for English and Japanese and all that stuff and all Bushiroad stuff for like minimum a year or more. Honestly, like the fact that you can cheat in this game and like only get what was how long was Vince's suspension? Was it
2
only a
years.
year? 2 years?
2
Yeah.
years.
I'm surprised it was like even that short. It should hopefully, if they do like punish the player, they do it for at least the 2 year minimum like Vince did. Do you know what the Vanguard one was? Were they also for 2 years or was it only one season? I don't remember.
I don't know about Vanguard. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I only saw
Yeah, we
tweets
don't pay
about it.
attention to.
Yeah, I follow a couple Vanguard people that I met at Worlds, and then I always get like the random Vanguard like drama posted on Twitter, and I read it sometimes. So that's the only reason I really know about it. I think it was Chris posted it or something. But yeah, I mean, if they end up not going forward with like a punishment, I guess, or like a ban from competitive play for X amount of time, even in English, like I feel like they're kind of letting the community down and like the competitive side down completely. Because
100%.
yeah, especially since like you guys said earlier, it's Japanese. There's only one event in an entire year, right?
What's even the prize that like you'd be cheating?
Well, I think the online one is just literally the prize is that you get to say you won, essentially, right? Is there even a
That's
playmat or something they give this year?
insane.
Well, we don't know what the pricing is.
Yeah, the last few years they didn't give pricing like as far as like official WGP pricing, right? Like it always sounded like they were just like giving out stuff and like promos.
Yeah,
and
I
things
think
like
that the top players got like some stuff that like hard like Camera Girl probably couldn't get rid of. Some products.
Yeah, like possibly products and stuff, but because I know that at least the in-person events before everything went down in the world, top 3 for the last few years got like or is it only first place, I forget. They got a play mat, like a topping play mat. I know Carmen.
Yeah, top 3 gets the play mat.
Yeah. So but I don't think they were doing that for online events at all, right? At least I've never seen it from that. Is there video or stream with it? There is a video. I don't have link to it.
Yeah, it's on the global.
Yeah, it's on global though. You can find it there. If one of you guys have, you can just throw it up in chat or give us the link and we can post it in chat because it might block you guys from typing links in chat because I don't know how to fix that setting because I'm a fucking boomer.
It doesn't stop me.
All right, final.
Nothing stops me.
Yes.
I'm here.
The man, the myth, the legend himself.
I'm here.
Mr. Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz.
What have we done so far?
We're just
We
talking
have
about.
talked
Go ahead, Dean. you-
Cheaters get the rope.
Oh, yeah.
We
I guess
hate
I
cheaters.
should comment on that, right?
Go for it.
I mean, just
Well, yeah, my people might have saw that I tweeted out that occurred. The clip that I was sent, which is the clip that I guess is now on Facebook, so I guess it doesn't matter. When I received it, I did not realize that it was not streamed as Weiss Schwarz and not meant to be quote unquote public. So when I was asked, I did take it down on those grounds, and those grounds only. So that's why that tweet disappeared. But now that I know, I mean, Par told me after the fact that anybody who participated in WGP this year implicitly agreed to be recorded. So that concern of mine was unfounded.
how do I share this?
So I should have
Kept it up.
I should have just kept it up.
What?
But I tweeted out as to why. But I mean, everything's in that Facebook thread now, and it was handled. It was also like presented as like this is something between locals and like that. I'm not a VC local, so it just whatever.
Yeah, so this is one thing we were talking about when they were saying we want to keep this within our locals or whatever. From my understanding, like obviously I heard these things through the grapevine, so take everything I say with a grain of salt.
We all heard it through the grapevine.
Yeah, that this person is a serial cheater, and everyone at the locals already knew that.
That's absurd. To
Yeah.
hear.
So, but they wanted to keep this within their locals or whatever. But the problem is, like, why didn't they call him out at locals instead of waiting for like the world? Basically, what this is the English side for like the world stage of like tournament. Basically, like at that point, you've let the beast grown too much at that point, and you've wasted all your opportunity to stop it before it gets to this point. Go ahead, sorry.
It's a bit of a weird stance to take because I think people forget, but WGP, despite its current state in the West after COVID, is still the tournament for Japanese format. So like even though it's like free entry, there's no real prize on the line, it's still a thing. I understand like not wanting people to get flamed and stuff like that publicly and stuff like that, like, or not flamed. I mean, like cheaters deserve flaming, obviously, but I'm talking about like full on harassment. I think like that's happened before and it was a bad look, like stuff with Austin who didn't even really cheat, stuff like that, and that one bro that was a bad look. So like I understand that, but I really should have kept it up. Gonna be honest, I was drunk when I posted it and drunk when I received the request to take it down, which isn't much of an excuse, but is what it is. I should have kept it up. I did not know about people playing in WGP being implicitly agreeing to be recorded, because like my big thing, especially as a content creator, as someone platformed, consent to be recorded is like a big thing, and I was not like clear on that. So when I received the request and whatever, like completely outside of like being requested to take it down, I was thinking about the fact that the clip was not meant to be completely public and that I didn't know player consent, which ended up not mattering at all. So I should have just kept it up.
Yeah, actually, every official Blue Shirt event, like you agree to a thing saying that you can and will be recorded at these events. So like that even in person, like so when I remember whenever we went to the Heart of the Cards Hammer Girl anime in New York over there in Rochester, you also agreed on the form saying that you can and will be recorded here, and you consent to it immediately, and that they can use it for whatever. So
yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I wasn't aware of that, but it doesn't really matter because someone from their local scene, so someone at their local scene was the person who ended up posting on Facebook. So it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It's out there. And I did say that when I was approached to take it down. I was like, I don't think it matters, and I don't think trying to keep it quiet is gonna work. But I'll do it on these grounds, but not the right way to go.
Yeah, for sure. So one thing we
I
were
just
talking,
don't get it.
one
Yeah.
thing we were talking about, Carmen, like because they said they wanted to keep it like within their locals, whatever. Dean and stuff and I were talking about like how if this happened at our locals, like we would pull them aside immediately and be like, "Hey, you've been cheating multiple times, and we all know it. Like you need to stop, otherwise we're gonna have to kick you out and so forth." Um, how how do you think like the best way to go about that at a local level? Obviously,
Here's me.
yeah.
If I say that I was the person who was caught doing these things, as a community member, I would want every person to blast me. I want one dragged out into the street and beat for my crime. Because the integrity of the game is the most important thing ever.
You only think that because you care about the game. If you're like that person and cheat, then you don't.
If you're that person, you obviously don't care, right? Like, yeah. But that's why it's like it's really hard for me to say anything on it because I'm just like, this is abhorrent, this is terrible. Like, but as like a community member, yeah, you have to pull the people aside instantly and be like, hey, like, we all know it. This can't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you're trying to keep it like basically stop it from growing to what it like this turned out to be, is definitely got to say something earlier because like we said, I think most people at that local knew this guy was a cheater already. But yeah, just like literally taking the guy aside and being like, "Hey, you need to fix this. We obviously we all know it's clear as day that you're doing something here, cheating. If this continues, we're gonna have to remove you from the store." I obviously when it gets to the level of like a regional type event or better or a bigger, like that's when you need to like you drag that person until like they literally want to delete all their social shit off of the internet and like ban them for a few years. Like basically, yeah.
I'm gonna be honest here. I cannot believe that someone in a post-Vince world, in an event where they were known to be being recorded by their opponent in every round, attempted to cheat. Like, everyone in the community saw that. Everybody in the community saw what happened to Vince. Like, how? Come on, man. Like, really? Like, really? Like, that. I think that was my first response when I saw it. Like, are you serious? Like, there's no way. And, like, dude, it was some fucking Stealth 100 shit, dude. Like, straight up. Like, it was so fucking obvious. Like, my God, dude.
Yeah, it wasn't hidden very well.
I was also very confused because when I heard this, I thought they were talking about something else because I was like, there's no way someone's this stupid after Vince got blown up so bad for cheating that they also tried to cheat in this, including like 1 or 2 weeks ago, Vanguard went through the same thing and someone got banned for I think at least a year or so from playing Vanguard competitively because they also cheated on an online event. Like, what? Like, this is.
You just hope you're not the one.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Why is it like this? Just I guess I don't even know. It's kind of like what is it? Like, you know those people who are like serial liars and they just can't help themselves? Like, what the fuck happened here? Is this what happened? Like this person just never been called out before and so they like they just have a habit of just needing to cheat, right?
I'm gonna be honest. I was pretty miffed throughout the whole thing. I think who you know and who you are should have absolutely nothing to say about like your integrity. It should be completely based on your action. And this was
NA Bro Swiss Rats don't learn up. They don't upload.
This is like pretty stupid. Like I really don't think who you know and who you are should have anything to do with like your conduct and like the game integrity, right?
I absolutely agree.
And like again, I just got out of my D&D session, so I'm pretty drunk here too. It's been a couple of days, but yeah, I mean like that's where I'm at on it. Like it's just unacceptable. I can't understand. Like I can understand, you know, like okay, we want to like talk with our local, we want to try to help them out, we want to try to make things right, but like, okay, it was already established that, you know, this event, everybody's being recorded. That being said, people getting their hands on the clip, whatever, you can make that argument, but nothing changed the fact that it did happen.
Mm-hmm.
The clip was shared on Facebook publicly, even after I took it down. The clip was not removed by the person who recorded it through the entire like thing that happened, through all the discourse, from when it happened to after the event to well into the next day. The clip was not removed. If it was meant to be sensitive and meant not to be public, something would have been done on that front. So I think it's fair game at this point now. And at that point, you know, it's fucking cheating at what we currently have as the highest competitive event for JP in the West, which I am sure people, as I say that right now, are laughing about.
Same. I am.
But myself included. But it, you know, that is what it is right now. And you know, it's just unacceptable.
Yeah.
Big shame on the like clickness, like protection thing. I'm not down with it. I get where it comes from. I understand, you know, being locals, being friends, being good friends with these people. You want to help people out, especially if somebody has like a serial problem. I get it. I get where that comes from. However, it's cheating at an official sanctioned event. There's video proof. There's nothing to, you know, there's nothing to discuss. It's pretty black and white here. So I think we can just leave it at that.
One thing that hit on that you kind of brought up too, and then also Recanted Forger in chat also said, was like, your reputation in the community doesn't mean shit. Like, that doesn't mean you can like be like, oh yeah, I can like kind of move my hand off screen or whatever, because, you know, I'm a known player. Why would I ever cheat or some shit like that? If anything, if you're more known in the community, you have a duty to like be like 110% like more transparent and make sure everything everything is like up to stuff, because you need to set an example as like someone who's known, like, yeah, I always keep my shit on screen and everything and so forth, because those people in the community, like, even if it doesn't feel like you're doing much, but you just doing that, like, makes it so the community feels better, and then people will follow you by example. Because if you have a lot of people who like you or whatever, and you're making sure your setup is 110% like ready and good, and there's no way.
People do a comment that I saw a lot in the threads and from other people, from Paru and Stock Swap Games on Facebook, about your camera, the angle that your camera is supposed to be at, where it's supposed to be shallower, so that, you know, they can see like your stomach and a bit of your chest, right? So that there's no way you can hide anything like past your mat, right? That's how I set up my camera. And, you know, if I was playing in an online event, which, you know, I probably wouldn't in the current day, I would go grab a cheaper webcam, something like that, a $10, $15 webcam off Amazon, and I would do what Paru and Yeezus do, which is they have a second webcam like on their face, like a player cam, right? Like kind of how you'd see on like an FGC stream or a Smash stream or something.
Yeah.
Like a player cam.
That's a little bit more of an ask, though.
Okay, but it is more of an ask. But that's more of an ask. It's more of an ask, Dean. But that's what I would do. But okay, changing your angle, sure. I'm saying if I was playing in an online event, I would not only ensure my angle was correct, but I would also do that, because that's how much I care about that kind of stuff. But like, you know, especially if it was something like if we had a second WSI, I would totally do that, because that is, you know, that's a for the content initiative, like, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
But that's just how I am about it. And, you know, props to all the people that do that. You know, it is a big ask, but it is really cool. Like, I do enjoy playing with like Paru and Yeezus over webcam, because they do that, and it's pretty fun. And I'll throw on another webcam and stuff like that, and it's hilarious. But, you know, webcam is just a bad It's just bad. Like, how many times we got to go through this? Didn't Vanguard just have a recent online cheating scandal?
Yeah,
as
yeah, that's what
well?
I was saying. Literally, like one to 2 weeks ago, the same thing happened where someone was banned, I think, for a year or more for also cheating on online as well, which is like wild that someone would like not only Vincent happened like like a year ago or so now, but then on top of that, like a week or two ago, another cheating scandal happened, and then you're gonna cheat in that same time frame is insane to me. Like like what the fuck?
Clinton brings up a really good point: the pressure of expectation.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's one hell of a scene. VC, right?
Mhm.
That's a lot of really good players. That can take its toll on people.
Yeah.
That's definitely one hell of a motive.
One thing
Um,
Dean and I and Hanson were talking about too was like in the future, like at this point, like if I held another event, which was I was in talks about possibly doing another event, like at this
Ooh.
point I would require everyone to record all their matches and everything and make sure the camera setups are like a bare
Definitely.
minimum. Otherwise, we will just take you out of the tournament. I don't care, because like especially if there's prizing, like the fact that it's like I don't know if it's I don't know for the WGP or Bro. I don't think in Bro it's required, but like everyone should always be recording all their matches at every single event so that at any moment a judge can come back and be like, hey, let me see that match or let me see that footage. I need to see it now because of speculation or whatever like that. Like I don't think anyone would really ask for the footage too often unless something very big was like came up, like someone was accused of cheating and then they need to go back and see everyone's matches. But that's something I would like probably force for online events in the future. I don't think Bushiroad or someone's going to do this, but I think that's something that like anyone who's looking to host events, especially online, should be considering very heavily because yeah, it's ridiculous that this many cheating scandals happened for online events.
I
It's
don't
like
know,
within.
man.
Hmm?
Keep going. Finish your thought. Yeah.
No, yeah, that was basically it. It's crazy that there's so many cheating scandals for online events within such a short period of time.
Well, it's just what happens. It's just
I-
online. It's why I don't like online.
I cannot for the life of me take online events seriously because of this kind of stuff. And like, I'm sorry to any of my opponents from the past, bro, but I'm gonna be honest here. From round 2 onwards of the entirety of bro, up in the top 8 where I played Johnny first round, and even in that round, because we had a toast before the round, I was shit-faced drunk that entire tournament because I just don't care. I cannot put forth the kind of play and the kind of what's the word, dedication, I guess, dedication and care towards an event that's online when I am fully aware that stuff like this can happen. And that's how I approach those online events. And even when online was the only thing we had, like I'm talking like Nats, whatever ago, I picked a deck that I thought was a decent meta pick, but also because people can't stack against Mocha 2 Burn 2 in Prilia. And that was a big reason that I took it. And like seeing success with a deck like that that's maybe a little bit more rogue, and like you can say things about like that, but like picked based on people are gonna stack, you can't stack against this, get fucked, buddy. Like, and seeing success with that strategy, that kind of took it out of me after that. And that's why for every event after that, I'm just like, I'm just gonna have a couple beers, chat with the boys, and play some games and just have a good time. Because it's just not worth putting my all into. And that's what sucks the most, because there's people that only have an outlet to compete through these events. And it sucks that that's my first, go-to thing that I want to do, right? Is like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't want to take it too seriously. I want to have a couple beers. I want to talk about getting sacked and sacking people in a voice chat with my boys in between rounds. And
It is easier
just
when you
have a good time.
It's a lot of it is just the camera.
Yeah, like it, and that sucks because there are people that rely on these online events for their competitive outlet because they don't have a way to get to tournaments. They don't have a local scene. It's their only way to compete, and that's what sucks the most. And that's why every time I see cheating like this, my blood boils. And like, dude, I was at a party at the time when I got sent that clip, and I sat there in the corner making those like screen caps or whatever to put on Twitter because I was so fucking mad that it happened again. Like, oh, it's just so gross. It just drives me up a wall. It makes me so mad for like the future like of the community when stuff like this happens. And like I don't even want to get into how angry I was about like the attempted cover up. Like that shit.
That shit's wild.
The clickness in this community needs to. There's always going to be cliques. There's always going to be different groups of people and stuff like that. You know, your boys, people, your locals, people you jive with, like a subset of the community. It's always going to happen. But like something like this, it's got to transcend that kind of stuff, man. Like the kind of stuff I saw on Facebook, like, and it's Alex Hodges in there, like telling people, like, come on, like cheating's like a big deal. And he just started like actually playing the game. He was like a collector for a long time, and like he's talking about competitive integrity. He's the one in there talking about competitive integrity. Like, come on. Man, it's just fucking really angering to see. That's all I got on the cheating thing. It drives me up a wall.
Yeah, it's wild too that Alex is one of the people in the trenches fighting about it when he's like champ, he recently got into like being more competitive in Weiss and stuff like that. But like, if Alex is here arguing about that this is important and this is a guy that came here from collecting cards to now playing, like,
even collectors like, though, right? Like, why would a collector tell people to cheat? Like, I don't understand. Like, nobody. Only like people who are really thirsty for that win.
He's the best person to join our community. Shout out to Alex Hodges.
He's an ambassador to the normal people,
and he won hell of one of that. We need to have him on. We need to have him on one of the casts.
One of these days.
I don't know. It's a bit.
He's been watching before.
It might be a bit too unstructured, but I think it'd be a good time. I'll make sure there's no underwater fights in my D&D session. I get out on time.
We can talk about card values with them.
Recanted Forger is saying just saying people who think cheating is a problem because it's online are wrong. It's just easier to catch with recording all games. That's partly true, but also there is like more of an in real life when you're playing IRL. Yes, there are people who still cheat, but it's also usually more subtle and like they're better at hiding it and stuff like that. And it's also like most of the people who would cheat are like most of the time too afraid to do it in real life because there's like eyes everywhere. They don't have control of everything. But when it's a one-on-one call, there's a webcam, there's an exact frame because you set it up beforehand that if you move just a little bit this way, you can't see the card or whatever. Then yeah, it's definitely you get incentivized, or like the opportunity there is like more obvious, I guess. I
cannot imagine someone trying to cheat at a regional and getting away with it unless it was teams. They're in the center seat and their entire opponent team is inexperienced and not perceptive, and their teammates are also completely complicit. I cannot fathom someone going for some kinds of these cheats that I've seen on webcam. Like, okay, you are sitting in this packed hotel hall with people immediately on the left and right of you. In the best case, you are on an edge. And if you're on an edge, I'm going to argue it's even worse because the second people's rounds complete, you're the match they're silently watching. So you got even more eyes on you. I cannot imagine someone having the balls to go for one of these kinds of cheats at a fucking regional.
Yeah, one thing at a regional too.
Because Weiss is like a more fish bully games than other card games, right? So
Yeah.
when people aren't taking their turn, you know, they might be looking around, they might be looking at you, see what's going on in another game, especially in teams, right? Because you're checking up on your teammates. Like, it's just insane to me. I cannot imagine someone trying to go for some of this shit. But yeah, that's my whole thought. Go ahead, Kit. Sorry.
Just a note on that too, like as far as like people walking around and looking at matches, I've had multiple times where people watching the match further away than the judge watching calls people out on messing up things and getting it fixed, like before the judge even sees it.
Not a
So like,
misplay.
yeah. So there are people out there.
Not a
Who,
misplay, but a misruling.
yeah. There are people out there who walk around and watch matches and like look at other people's matches and like will do like point out things when something's not being resolved correctly and stuff. So like if you think like you have less eyes on you or whatever at a in real life event, it's absolutely not true. And that's why like being on the one-on-one call, knowing that you only have this, your opponent only can see this much stuff, like kind of incentivizes it more to like cheat. If you are going to cheat, it's like the easiest way to basically start cheating is because of like the limited view and everything like that. Because like at events, I look at my opponent the entire time. I look at their cards. I make sure that they do everything correctly and stuff like that. Because I have nothing else to do. What am I going to do? Take out my phone and get disqualified? That's a good meme. But so I'll just sit there and like mindlessly stare at them to make sure everything gets resolved correctly. Like, yeah.
I just don't buy the in person. Like, I know in person cheating happens. I think it's a different kind of cheating that occurs at actual tournaments. I think people will just intentionally misplay effects. What was that called? This came up before in the discussion. Soft cheating, I think people called it.
Well, sometimes it's there are the intentional, and there's also just like I don't know, people fuck up.
Yeah,
I mean, Weiss, especially in Weiss, I think we've all fucked up effects. Like even in English, where we can all read our cards, we've all screwed up effects or thought effects go a different way. And you know, if you know things go a different way and you try to do it the wrong way, then that's quote unquote soft cheating. Which is still a fucking problem. Soft cheating, of course, can be completely mitigated by having an understanding of what you're playing, what your opponent's playing, how card effects work. I know one of the best things to combat that kind of quote unquote cheat, 3-6 Cancel has a video out there about how effects affect card balancing. So when someone tells you an effect and you have an idea of how Weiss Schwarz card balancing works, and that effect sounds too strong or sounds off, that's like a red flag for you to like, you know, just fact check your opponent. Little stuff like that. You guys can check that out.
It's funny you say that because in the same breath, like every new set that comes out in JP Weiss, I'm like, what the hell are these cards?
Completely breaks it. Yeah.
But yeah.
It's more of an English tip.
Yeah. For the
I guess JP's insane right now, but
oh man. But yeah. I guess if Chino in chat, if you have a noob question you want to ask us, you go ahead and drop it in chat. We'll answer it when we can. But
absolutely.
I actually had a question from Twitter, someone who was messaging me because I was talking to them some. I haven't played against the 8-door Tokyo Revengers Pachan list. Have any of you guys done that?
It's not legal for English, so I've tried to not think about it.
It's just a big board, right?
It's a big board, but you sit behind the event counter that's like stops damage, but then reflects it back at your opponent, essentially.
Isn't it just a big thing that like you have this unkillable board, and this is a very standby heavy? Like there's
no standby
decks, and they just fold, right?
Well, yeah, the standby decks can't do anything about the big Pachans.
Yeah, because they get up to something like 16k or something ridiculous.
Because,
right?
like I said, it's Mechanical Chaser versus Lajin, the mystical genie of the lamp. That is legitimately that format.
That's the most that's the most accurate thing, Dean, you might have ever said. Your entire Weiss Schwarz career.
I'm always right. What are you talking about?
Standby is literally just Lajin versus Mechanical Chaser, and you're just looking for the 50 power bump. over your opponent, and that's
Oh.
it.
It's an arms race.
It is an arms race. That's what it is. Standby metas are arms races.
It is. Well, anyway, the person in Twitter was asking me about it, but I haven't played against the deck enough to understand. What about you, Hanson? Have you touched that deck or played against it at all? Because they wanted.
I've only played against English versions where
Oh,
they
okay.
just
I don't know
play
because
8 door, so
yeah. If there was a door in English, I'd probably play that deck. It seems pretty fun to play. But do you have any like tips against that deck? Because they messaged us saying that they really liked the video Dean released about dealing with the dual laner combo and everything. But
Hell
they're
feed
playing
my ego.
yeah. But they're playing more in a Japanese meta where people are actually playing that list and I think they're having trouble against it.
Whoa, I can't help you with
yeah,
that.
I told them the same thing. I was like, I need to spend some time looking at it and actually play against it. Because it looks like a very annoying list to
Try
play
to pick
against.
up B side
The
before it gets banned.
the thing is with the dual laner deck is like the gameplay to fight. It's very easy to like figure out.
Oh my
Well,
god,
like-
Dean, the fucking. I think it's funny because I think your advice against the Tokyo Revengers deck, right? That deck actually could feasibly kill you from 1516.
Yeah.
You know what's really funny? Queuing into these people playing fucking
Oh,
Pixar with
yeah,
the
dual
fucking
laners in
Luca
Pixar
combo.
is
And
unbelievably bad.
I literally sat there with like fucking Memory Nanoha and like 8-bar Vivid Strike, and I'm just dunking on this deck.
Whoa,
over
wait
and
a
over
second.
again.
Vivid Strike is insane if you play the 1/1.
I don't play the 1/1. I play the
Okay.
1/0 Rene because I like
Respect.
sacking Renes. I mean, it's just more
Yeah.
Renes in the deck.
But yeah, it is. Even Revengers though, like they're not like favored to kill you from 1/1, like 1/5. They can,
Yeah,
but the
they
thing
gotta
is your
reach.
hope is
They gotta have good
just
top
don't.
checks of Mitsuya, yeah, to like even have the reach to get you from there. But like, you know, playing against that fucking Pixar deck, dude, that fucking Pixar deck, they fucking stare at you with like 20 stock and they're attacking twice a turn. I had somebody with that deck attack me once because that card can fucking trip from the back row, like, and just like they generate a ton of stock, and I just go, okay, 1/1/1. They eat it. Like I cancel once or twice. I like swing back again. They like eat like 2 attacks, and I go like, I'm plussing every turn. This game's easy. And then the Merlin comes down, and that combo literally does nothing. I cannot fathom people saying that fucking Merlin, the Merlin combo in Pixar is good. That combo
which
literally
combo?
does nothing. The Nemo combo, it deals
Okay,
one.
No, yeah, it
refresh
deals
point.
0 damage. It is
No,
actually
it
the
deals a
worst thing.
refresh point.
I thought
it deals
It
a
deals
refresh
one
point.
refresh. It cannot stick a swing to save its life. I have seen 2 climaxes with it multiple times.
wait, what was that? Was that the combo you were saying that it deals lethal -1?
No, that was the bunny
That's-
girl combo.
Oh, the
That's
buddy
the
girl,
Bunny
yeah.
combo, Nodoka. Triple Nodoka deals
Lethal -1.
lethal -1, yeah.
Yeah, but at least that's like more of a real top end than the Nemo.
Oh,
The
my
Nemo is
God.
like unbelievably
Yeah,
bad.
I've sat across from that deck like 3-4 different times now, and I'm like, damn, this deck's fucking ass. Like, thank God my opponent isn't playing fucking Wally, because if they were slamming fucking Action Bastard into my face every single turn, I'd be fucking dead. But instead, they're playing this stupid dual laner. And if a deck like Memory Nanoha can fucking push that deck shit in, then I don't fucking know. If you're losing, like, you need to watch Dean's video.
Oh, man.
that deck's fucking terrible. I cannot fucking understand why people think that deck's good.
Yeah.
But
I think it's just people being hyped up on that dual laner stuff, which once again, I think it's just bad. It's not a good package.
I mean, aren't you like also kind of compressed with Nanoha and like Nemo get like exponentially better and like
yeah,
it's
sure.
like a bad deck state?
If your
Against
opponent,
the
when you're
bad
playing
decks,
dual
they
laners
sure.
and you need your opponent to not have cards, like
Okay, but that's the
What?
point, Hanson. Like, what the way that you play against these dual slaner strategies is never clocking, prioritizing your compression and your deck state, which, to be fair, like you said, is all Memory Nanoha does. That is the whole deck.
but that's like
can't-
any deck.
It
A
can't
lot
do
of decks can
anything
just
else.
do that.
Well, yeah, but that's my point. Modern decks can just do that. Like, I've been playing a lot of Fate recently. 0 days. Go ahead, meme it up in the chat.
Which time?
But like,
I hear they're gonna be good one day.
that's a lot of that's a lot of deck manipulation. I feel like if I sat across from dual laners with Fate, like even barring the 1/1 stock swap, it's literally like who fucking cares? Like it's just so fucking easy. If you have the ability to generate resources, stop clocking, and play defensively and prioritize your deck state, you'll never fucking die to that fucking Pixar dual laner deck. As it just doesn't have the top end to back it up. They like go.
Well,
fucking
if they play Buzz, they might. Buzz is like the only top end that has good reach.
Buzz and Woody, or the Buzz
just-
Restander.
No,
Just
the Buzz
Buzz.
Restander.
Yeah, the Buzz Restander does have reach. Yeah.
The Buzz Restander is better to pair than Buzz and Woody, just because like Buzz and Woody's like blanket good, but if you're gonna be doing dual laners and sucking for 90% of the game, you might as well have a good top end.
Yeah, you might as well have something more explosive, more push. I can buy that. Yeah.
Wait, but like if Nemo can't push damage, how does Buzz restand push damage?
Double Buzz plus stock swap is pretty fucking strong,
All right.
and you can do that every game.
All right. Chino in chat ended up asking their question is, what do you do if you have 3 to 4 climaxes in your second, third turn? So the problem with this question is context is key here. Like
Clock.
we would need more information on like clock draw. Was it draw clock brainstorm? That's what you do.
It's clock draw brainstorm,
Yeah.
CDBS TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no,
It's like
the
cooking
clock
a
is a discard
salmon.
outlet.
Wait, what'd you say, Dean?
The clock is a discard outlet.
In a way, it is. Yeah, it
It's more
depends.
just like filter. Like if you're flooded, like there are two ways to read this. You're flooded, or all you have is 3 to 4 climax.
I mean, they're both, right? If you have 4
Yeah.
climaxes in hand, you have 4 climaxes in deck.
Yeah. So if you're flooded, it's about filtering. You got to remember clocking is a filter, even if you're still at level 1.
It's not optimal to do it at level 1, but it is still an option.
It's an option. It's an out. You just try to play to your
Wow.
outs.
One of the things
Shit.
too is like people panic and they're too busy panicking about their how screwed they are and don't realize they're sitting across an opponent who is also out 4 or more. And so you're internally panicking and thinking you have to get through your entire deck because it's like the first deck immediately, but then like literally your opponent's in the same situation. And a lot of times, sorry, go ahead, Hanson.
Yeah, playing it down is also a discard outlet.
Yeah, that pushes damage.
Discard
Both of
outlet.
those
Yeah.
are.
If your opponent's also out, that can be a win condition.
That is true. Just always remember, sometimes your opponent's less lucky than you.
Yeah. just fucking slam.
Unless you're Dean, then Dean's always losing.
Yeah.
But
I'm being made fun of already for playing Fate. I'm playing Fate for a very specific reason, but I am very much liking the build that I'm on. Playing like 6 door 2 choice. I'm playing the Saber top end. It's been pretty fun. A lot better than I actually expected, because I was one of the people memeing on other people for like talking about Fate all the time 0 days. That fucking level 0 caster, dude, that card is nutty. That card is like fucking insane.
what's level 0 caster?
MVP card. The caster, it's a fucking 500 power Shimakai with like on reverse, you reveal top to level 0, you draw that card.
Oh yeah, that card's pretty good.
Yeah,
Oh, that
and
is pretty
it's a
wild.
master. Because like obviously I'm on the Saber top end, so I need yellow fix, so I'm playing Shiro. So I'm playing into that. But it's been
Also, Kit, you had a
it's been pretty
request.
fucking fun. I'm pretty
all.
sure I'm actually taking it to New York, which if people are watching this part of the podcast,
They don't want my deck profile; they want yours.
Wait, you're playing that for New York?
I will do that.
I'm pretty sure I am. Yeah,
Uh,
I have a personal reason for playing the deck and just in general a lot. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm taking it to New York. It's been pretty fun, and my motivation for this regional season in general is pretty low because Los Angeles blows. It's still worlds, but
It's not strong 0 drunk talking to Australians at like 2 a.m. in Japan on the streets.
that's peak
world.
world. Yeah, where I was told to wake up and pick up my cans, and you threw me onto the last train.
Yeah, I'm. That's still my favorite part. I was.
I'm heading home. Yeah, but
They're like, should we take Carmen to his hotel or whatever? And I was just like, Carmen, you can handle yourself, right? All right, there you go. There's your trade. Carmen, good luck.
I didn't even know if I coherently responded, but I was shoved on a train. But yeah, I have a personal reason for playing specifically that set, but I do think it's actually like pretty good. Deck feels pretty good. Playing into a bunch of different English matchups. It's been pretty fun.
Clint is right. The key is to win a future trip that is in LA.
Yeah, that's lofty goal. But would be sick.
What do you think of the Sao 10th card of the day so far? I haven't been keeping track. Like I said, I've stopped looking at JP as much. But every time I'm like looking at Twitter and some JP person I'm following posts about a card on Sao 10th, I'm just like, why God? Like I just posted in our chat about that Brainstormer. I was like, this Brainstormer just seems wacky as hell. It, like lets you play events, like color makes your makes your events colorless. You play a climax, you give something 1,000 power, and it's a self-tap Brainstorm for salvage character, not even trait. And it has avatar anniversary or whatever traits as well, so like it really matters, right? But
here's like a image. I'll put it in chat. I don't know if that image will work for people, but direct Discord link. But just to give you an example of all the really cool events you could play without color, because you play this self-tap salvage Brainstorm that also has on climax placement, give 1,000. Like, and if you remember South 10 before, they literally played Remy Brainstorm because that is the best Brainstorm they ever had. So it's not like there was something competing for this spot. But in English, I'm kind of sus on South 10th anime just because.
I mean, it is looking pretty standalone, so.
Yeah, it's looking fine, but I think the thing that you will miss is when I look at all these cards, I am looking at them in the framing of we have Twilight of Innocence, which is the most broken level 1 combo, like vacuously level 1 combo, most broken combo they've ever printed. And South 10th has banger zeros.
Yeah.
That you can play. And like in English, we do not have said banger zeros nor Twilight of Innocence.
But we do have a 5-card on Maguro, which is like pretty good.
Yeah, that is pretty good. It's also on Mother's Rosario, is it not? Or was that
it is on Mother's Rosario, yeah.
Yeah, so you can splash these off finishers that they keep printing, which is really cool.
You could, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like the Sao decks are just becoming like, if you want to build it that route, it can be really toolboxy, which is kind of cool in a way. And then like
that was always the toolbox deck, right?
Yeah. But then also, dude, like at least like when you're playing against people who have like tap counter and stuff like that, you're like, okay, they're in this color, you know these events exist, and so since they're in that color, you only have to worry about these events. But the fact that this Brainstormer lets you play anything without color is pretty funny. Like you just have to like memorize every single good event combination in Sao moving forward. If like a really popular deck is able to like abuse it, it'd be pretty funny. Yeah. All right. Think that is about all we have to really talk about. Is there anything else you guys can think of right now? Okay, I'm going to take your silence as no one has nothing else to talk about.
I really don't.
Yeah. When are you going to upload those Shadowverse videos?
I keep forgetting. I'll literally do it tonight. Send me a reminder again.
We need the entire
project team.
There are more people watching this than will watch those videos.
When are you gonna upload your fucking Weiss Schwarz project?
Ooh, so that's really cool. Except for there's a problem, and that's I'm gonna be in Japan, and I want this to be monthly, so I have to wait till the middle of December if I want to have this actually become a monthly thing. Because there's no way I can get a third one filmed.
How long are you gonna be in Japan for?
5 weeks.
5 weeks, yeah. I know you do it big. You backpacking around again?
I am. It's gonna be fun.
Hell yeah.
I plan on trying to finish Vivid Strike Max Rarity playset. Plan on trying to finish a Max Rarity playset of what else am I missing? Dog Days. I'm missing the Milhees.
Okay.
And then after that, not really too sure what I'm looking for.
You're gonna buy a bunch of 500 yen decks again.
The 500 yen decks are strong.
Oh, I bought 2. They were both really powerful.
Those might be a little hard to find.
What was the 2 I got? I got
You got Osamatsu, which was insane.
I got Osamatsu yellow and blue alchemist.
You're sounding better than mine.
Yeah,
mine
they
were
both
like
pretty good.
I bought like a rewrite waifu deck that was like unplayable.
I ended up giving the one yellow Osamatsu deck to my one local who loves it. Like she plays the like meta Osamatsu deck like all the time. And she didn't have the yellow stuff. She was like, "Do you like play this ever?" And I was like, "No." And she's like, "Will you sell that to me?" And I was like, "You can have it. Like you'll enjoy it a hell of a lot more than me." She has it now. But yeah, the 500 yen decks are hilarious.
My big problem is I don't care about Japanese anymore. I like Idolmaster enough to try to foil it, but there's also like no point, so I might not. I also like Milky Holmes.
Max Ready Milky Holmes playset?
I already have. I got the deck maxed.
Do you play the blue unfindable SP?
Yes.
You have that card? Hell yeah! I know Yarbocker looked for that card for years. It took him like forever to find that card.
Yeah, I got lucky and found a lot. Like a guy was selling the deck and he had that card. I almost wasn't gonna buy it, but then that card was in the line. I'm like, okay, well,
yeah, I mean
that's pretty good.
There are cards that exist in those old sets that are like practically impossible to find. You got to jump. Sometimes you got to pay extra just to get the lot that has them. What's the best AOT build?
It's like,
I am really biased towards 8-door.
Yeah, I think it's 8-door or door choice, right? At this point,
door choice.
Yeah. 8 pants is like solid.
A lot of people talking about bar door. A lot of people talking about bar door.
Oh, I haven't heard about that at all.
Like Eldian bar door. I've seen that pop in the Discords a lot.
Falco level 1.
Falco level 1, yeah, just like a pure Eldian.
What is
but
Falco
I think you lose out
on
Armin even if you try to. Falco level 1 is Corne, but it's salvageable.
Oh, okay.
And it can give power, I believe, to another lane.
Oh, that combo. Okay. Yeah. I know what you're talking about then.
Like almost like pretty decent. You have to like include cards to like patch up your deck speed when you play that combo. But which is what I like about 8-door, because 8-door is very like I don't know, it's like a blunt object that you can like beat up your opponent with. Because like Sasha's pretty good top end, very competent top end.
Yeah.
The mill makes your like first deck game plan like very easy. But I know I've seen a lot of down talking deck recently. I know door choice people like that, the like heavy mid game strategy, playing into Armin really hard. I can buy that that's good, but like I can't play those high variance like finishers anymore. Because I'm too unlucky, too bad of a player.
Yeah.
For those kinds of things to work for me.
The big thing about 8-door that I like is that like the finisher feels like it has a really high ceiling, and it's like you can like precision decide whether you want to switch into a 1-soul beater or a 2-soul beater, and like the more resources you have, the more like crazy your finisher can become. But even with
scales up really fast,
and
like
even with the minimal resources, it's still very powerful. It's still like you can still relatively consistently get 5 to 6 attacks off, no matter like your resource crunch, basically at the end of the game, unless you're doing something really.
Gabby is also like so much better than people give that card credit for. The fact that AOT doesn't have a lot of deck break, you just have the Fumio. Which is also better with Sasha because you can trip into the Fumio, right?
Yeah.
And you have like Jean available too. So you can do stuff where like the best part about playing the Sasha top end is that you have the single Sasha in your hand, and then that single Sasha can pivot a bunch of different ways. Which like rewards good play, rewards you for being like on top of your opponent's deck state and such. Where you can trip into exactly the stuff that you want to kill your opponent in the best way. You can even do stuff like, I'm not even going to combo. I'm going to like, I have Sasha on the Fumio or Sasha on the John. I'm going to trip into the Fumio / John and then just like Fumio burn for my opponent out. Which, you know, will still steal games even this far down the line. Which is what I really like about the Sasha top ends. But, you know, to each their own. Yeah. I think anything that plays Armin is the way to go. Hanson, I know you really like 8 pants.
No, I gave up.
You gave up?
It seemed really bad.
I mean, the top end's very good.
I mean, yeah, the top end is good, but everything.
My problem with the deck is I feel like I've had extensive conversations with both Tyler and Patty about this. And I think I've talked about this on the cast before. I feel like that deck like plays against its own game plan like really hard a lot of the time, and it also does not recover from poor starts very easily because of the full field condition on the level 1. I feel like that's you either have to build your deck in such a way to mitigate the full field condition, which makes your good to better game worse, and then triggering climaxes in an 8-pants deck with the way the finisher works progressively makes your combo worse. And yet also you're a stock gated deck, so paying down to pay out climaxes to make your finisher worse, to make your finisher better, also makes your deck worse. Because then you like lower the reach by not being able to play more Reiners. And that sort of like push-pull, that back and forth, the internal back-forth the deck has, is what pushed me off of it like pretty early. And I know a lot of people will say like, yeah, that's whatever, that's just Weiss, like good finisher, deck's still good, and like I'd never say the deck is bad, but like it's just not for me. I don't like playing those kind of decks in long tournament. But
I also personally hate when a game plan could just immediately implode because of one counter. Like that always feels really, really bad. Because you guys said, the full field condition is really really annoying.
Full field conditions all game, man. Hey, at least you got that 1-0 peak. I think that card saves that deck. That card is like a must play.
Which
the one that like the one that can fill your board, discard any card, spawn at level 0.
Oh, well, I wasn't playing that card.
Well, you were playing the full on what is it?
Jaw
Titan change package, which I think does a similar thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it bloats your playable lineup and lets you tap down stuff to find more cards, which is really good. It fulfills a very similar role to the peak.
Mm-hmm. I guess, yeah.
Any other questions from the chat? Any other things? Dean, do you have any Schizo posts on your mind?
No, I'm about to be Grandmaster Shadowverse, grinding that ladder all day, every day. It's kind of hard to make a fun video which, by the way, subscribe to my main channel, Stereo Tenant. That's right. I'm trying to bring it back, trying to get the Shadowverse content off of here. I know that not a lot of people like to deal with that, but
it's okay. I like the Shadowverse content. I'm probably gonna have some Snap content pretty soon. I actually talked to Tyler, and we might do some stuff together for Snap.
Cool. I know Tyler's also been playing a lot of Snap.
Dude, I personally would like to move the content off of the channel, but the problem I'm having is my channel gets sub 10 views because YouTube algorithm, while this channel, if I upload the same video, will get 150, 200 plus views, up to 1,000. And so
because
maybe
of the
I just keep
algorithm
uploading
stuff,
on here.
Just go for it. I actually watch it when I'm bored. All right, so I enjoy it. Yeah, Shadowverse is a game that's always so wacky to me. I love it, but I also I just fucking love it. The game's fun.
Dean talk about cards.
Yeah,
even if I don't agree, I'll care about the specific card game, I'll watch Dean talk about cards.
Ooh.
Oh.
Go ahead.
It's kind of hard to get a video out right now though for it because I have just been grinding the same deck on the ladder for a week and a half now. You know, the what is it? You did the legend grind, right, Garmin?
Yeah. I literally playing nothing but Cursed Implock for 3 days straight.
Yeah, you just keep slamming the ladder, and you're like, I just want to
be over. What is there even to talk about at this point? We're doing the same thing. We're doing it over again.
The problem is sometimes you fight the people who have been because I am playing the best deck in the format. It's undisputed. The problem that I'm having is when you fight people who are also playing the best deck, but they've got 40,000 master score, which means they've been grinding this probably 15 hours a day. And you know, you start to go, man, this mirror match is pretty rough.
I might dip back into Hearthstone more. They recently announced they're adding Death Knight to the game, which is a new 11th class, and it has the largest core card pool of any class, and its deck building is gated by one of 3 runes, and you have 3 rune points to allot to these 3 runes, and the amount of points you allot into each rune determines what level of card you can put in that deck that is attributed to that rune. So like they have Blood, Frost, and Unholy. And if you say you have a 2 Blood, 1 Unholy Death Knight deck, you can only run cards that are Blood 2 or lower or Unholy 2 or lower. As well as, of course, general cards and general Death Knight cards, of which there aren't a lot of general Death Knight cards. So it's actually really interesting. And even when Hearthstone is unbelievably fucking broken, like it has been, and it's like almost a fucking dead game, the rune system is actually cool enough for me to go back in and care. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in, I'm going to dust my entire fucking collection and just make all the fucking Death Knight cards and just play nothing but Death Knight and like actually fucking sit down and figure shit out and like not really look at anything, not look at any like meta reports other than what's being played, like in terms of like playing a deck, and like actually try to figure out something cool, because that is like something that makes Hearthstone deck building cool, as opposed to what it has been, which is like literally just hit up fucking Hearthstone and play the best deck, because that's the way it's always fucking been.
Whoa!
But
I have been grinding with the best deck. Stop attacking me.
Death Knight, Dean, I did the same fucking thing. But I'm saying like
you're supposed to win.
Death Knight's really cool, and I might actually like go back to Hearthstone and
Ladder mirrors are too hard.
If I do a like legend grind off that, if like you know the class is good and like I can see like potential to actually like do a grind and like try to hit like high legend, like high numbers, like top 1,000 or something like that, I'll definitely consider like streaming it. You know, Burn One, we just stream random digital card games all day.
I'm down.
So.
We'll just put all 3 of our card games at the same time as we're all fighting to get to our quote unquote legend rank.
Well, that would be cool. It's
I'm close. I'm 2 games. I'm 2 or 3 wins away right now.
Rank fast enough. That would be fun.
Every time one of us ranks up, we all take a shot. All right. Anyway, that would be a really funny stream.
Star Wars. If anyone did, it was Nico, and nothing showed up at my house because Nico's been shipping all the things he buys to my house while he's in Qatar, so I don't believe he did. I know Nico and I brewed when they released all the Star Wars cards, and it was definitely a little rough. I think we came up with something with choice with the cancel burn and Jabba, which was really funny. Because you can stack all the cancel burns from Leia on Jabba, and they can go off that way because like it doesn't really matter. It's still end of turn, which was kind of cool. But like I think getting there was the problem, because the Star Wars is like it's like a Batman Ninja type set where the set is cut into subsections. So.
All right, I think that kind of wraps up everything. I will upload those videos tonight, I promise. And then Dean has his video, I think, coming out pretty soon. Your Meme Monday thing, or is it still uploading? Yeah, okay. So hopefully that's up before Tuesday. So it's still Meme Monday. But
it's up to Kit to put a thumbnail on it.
Oh yeah, you need me to make a thumbnail. Okay, I'll make a thumbnail later. But yeah, I think that is it. Thanks for hanging out with us all, you guys. We'll see you next week on Monday again. Hopefully a little bit sooner instead of I was like too busy playing games and forgot. So yeah, we'll see you guys later.
Yeah.